Let's talk about simple things today, about 0, 90, 180, and 270 degree angles. So we start with 0 degrees. We have a unit circle. Now what you see here is how this angle is going to look at 0 degrees. The angle intersect the unit circle at this point, which has coordinate 1, 0, 1 horizontal, 0 vertical. And if you remember, horizontal coordinate will indicate cosine, and vertical coordinate will indicate sine. So, and this is what you see. Cosine of 0 degrees is 1, sine of 0 degrees is 0. Next, we're going to move to 90 degrees. Now, if you look at the intersection point of that angle and the unit circle, the coordinate of that point is 0, 1, which means cosine is 0 and sine is 1. Now we go to 180 degrees. The point is minus 1, 0, which means cosine is minus 1, sine is 0. And the last one is 270 degrees, which, if you remember the previous video, we can also call it minus 90 degrees if you want, among other things. Coordinate of that point is 0, minus 1, which means cosine is 0, sine is minus 1. All right, and that's it. That's kind of pretty simple thing to do. I would like to talk about tangent and cotangents today. So if you remember, the way we define tangent is a sine over cosine, and cotangent is cosine over sine, the opposite. Now, when we look at 0 degree angle, we find that sine is 0, cosine is 1. So tangent will be 0 over 1, which is 0. Cotangent, on the other hand, is going to be 1 over 0. And we know we don't like to divide by 0. So in this case, we simply say that cotangent is not defined. All right. Now, when we go back to 90 degrees, things change. They flip, actually. In this case, a tangent is 1 over 0 and is not defined. Cotangent, on the other hand, is 0. Right? Now, here I want to just kind of point one thing. Originally, when we talk about triangle and define tangent and cotangent through the sides of the triangles, I also mentioned that cotangent was 1 over tangent. Later, I changed the definition of cotangent to go through cosines and sines. And the reason for that is precisely this. If I kept cotangent as 1 over tangent, which works perfectly fine except for these extreme cases, and in case of 90 degrees, tangent is not defined. So if I define cotangent as 1 over tangent, cotangent would not be defined as well. But on the other hand, if I define as cosine over sine, I can get cotangent perfectly fine as 0. Right? Now we can actually move on when we look at cosine of 180 degrees. In sine of 180 degrees, we'll find that tangent of 180 should be 0. Cotangent is not defined. And when we go to 270 degrees, they switch. So tangent and cotangent behave in a similar manner for 0 and 180 degrees and 90 and 270 degrees. So that's it for today. It's pretty simple.